What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Carrie Hilson.
Hey, what's happening, homie? This TIP, man.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Boy. Y'all know what time it is. Live from the West Coast. You already know you checking out Hard Knock TV. You heard?
Yeah, what up, though? This is Common, and right now you checking out Hard Knock TV.
You watching Hard Knock TV, you understand?
Learn that you yacht.
Hard Knock TV, I'm back. Devi, Hard Knock TV, back in LA. And I missed you guys, but I have something special today. I'm here with Terrace Martin. Say hello to fine people.
Hello, you fine people.
Devi, and if you know what's good with music, then you know all about the movement that we've got going on right now.
You sure do.
I want to start out kind of with just talking about kind of how everything got started.
At like 13 years old, I kind of just automatically just like fell in love with jazz after hearing it all my life. And my father was playing in like a little jazz club, and my uncle Richie Love was playing the saxophone. And you know, after the whole show was over, this beautiful Dominican woman, beautiful Dominican woman came up to me and said, "Oh, you are." Who's your father in the band? I was like, the drummer. Oh, you're his son. So what do you play? I know you play instrument. I was like, ma'am, I don't play instrument. She said, well, if you ever decide to play an instrument, you should play the alto saxophone. And I said, why should I play that? And she said, because the saxophone is the only instrument you can make love to your woman without even touching her. Just play the saxophone to her. And that was the age I got intrigued with women too. So I was like, okay, cool, I could crack girls and play the horn. So I grabbed the horn because of the women. And then I just fell in love as I, kept playing. So that's the whole thing. Shouts out to the Dominican lady too.
Right, change your life with that.
Yeah, she was bad.
Oh, cougar. There's a lot to digest when it comes to Terrace Martin, so let's kind of play name association. Okay. I'm gonna give you some names, and you are just gonna briefly tell me kind of what they have to do with you.
Okay.
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno was the first. At 17 years old, I entered a scholarship foundation, a competition where it was like, they did all this weeding out all the top young musicians at the time, whether in Grammy band, all-state band from Los Angeles all the way to New York City, and there was a million auditions. And I was blessed. Me and my friend named Ryan Porter, trombone player, was blessed to be able to have the opportunity of winning this scholarship. And then something happened where like we went to the whole ceremony, and my mom and Jay was talking, and I came over and just started talking to Jay, and him and Kevin Eubanks just took like a little special liking to me. So they gave me the scholarship, and then a week later I went home. They had Ralph Moore, which was the lead saxophone player on the Tonight Show, said, hey, Jay really likes you. He not only wants to pay for your whole tuition at Cal Arts, but he also wants to buy you a saxophone, because I was playing probably like a student model cheap horn. So Jay Leno one Saturday just surprised me, picked me up in a limousine in front of my house and drove me to Manny's, the Horn Connection, owned by Manny on Sunset and Gardner, which all these expensive saxophones. And he said, you get whatever horn you want. And that's where I ended up choosing my favorite saxophone, King Super 20 Silversonic 1967. And he wrote the check, we took a picture, and then throughout my whole career, I've always kept in touch with Jay. And then after that, going back and forth with Snoop and different folks on the show, like I to this day, I tell Jay thank you every time, and that's been like 11, 12 years.
Wow.
But I always keep in touch with Jay. Like Jay, Mr. Leno has definitely been a big inspiration in my life, and a good dude, and loves good music.
Dope. Okay. Quincy Jones.
Let me see. Wow. Not only from just being probably one of his biggest fans, but Quincy, I got introduced to Quincy from Snoop Dogg. It was a situation where Snoop had reached out to Quincy. They was just talking, and I think Quincy asked Snoop, do you have a Grammy? And Snoop said, nah. And it's another cat named Clark Terry. Clark Terry is the trumpet player from East St. Louis that actually taught Miles Davis and Dizzy Gillespie. He's like the guy they looked up to. He came around like the Louis Armstrong era, but he's like one of the jazz ambassadors, period. So Clark Terry's another cat that never had a Grammy, but wrote all these big, huge hit jazz songs. So Quincy asked Snoop, y'all should do a record together. And then coincidentally, me having my jazz background, Snoop said, well, hey, a friend of mine, you know, like a cat I've been raising throughout this whole music industry and grooming him, named Terrace, a jazz musician. I really want you to meet him. And I met Quincy, and he said, hey, I'm doing a record. I know you do the hip hop and jazz thing. Would you like to be a part of my record? And I was like, what did you mean with it? I mean, you know, I'm doing mixtapes for friends of mine that, you know, yes, I would die to be a part of your record. And he gave me the opportunity to be a part of his record that he just released, you know, part of his record. So, and we ended up doing shows off of that. So Quincy is a big inspiration to me too. I love Quincy Jones.
All right, let's keep it going. DJ Quik.
Quik is the name raised a generation, period. To us, for my generation, when Quik came out, it wasn't NWA, it wasn't this, it was like this other guy from Compton. And they had at that time, they had so made Compton theirs, you know, it was like kind of hard to accept anything else out of Compton at that particular time for my generation. Quik came and did a whole kind of different level of music, gangster, but it was real smooth, melodic and everything. I was going to Warren Lane Elementary when I first heard Tonight. In my Walkman, they play on the radio, Tonight, and it was like, yo, that doesn't sound like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because at that, I didn't know then what was the difference, but it felt different because at that time NWA was so aggressive, and Dr. Dre with Straight Outta Compton, it was like his sound was more like Public Enemy with Hank Shockley, and then Quik sound was more heavy, melodic. He had a couple of records that was aggressive too, but when that record came out, because that was the one, and then what's the other record? Born and Raised in Compton. That's when, you know, we all heard the song, we felt bad because somebody stole his equipment. We didn't even know who he was, really like, oh, somebody stole his equipment. My dream was always to work with Quik, Dr. Dre, and everybody. And then later on in my life, I got an opportunity to meet Quik at 6 in the morning through another friend of mine named Fuzzy on Power 106. He said, hey, one of the heroes down here, come meet him at 6 in the morning. I drove down and I met him. And, you know, it's like, I'm still a fan. So seeing Quik walk into the room, I Power 106 at 6 in the morning with a wave cap on, and the first thing he asked me, I said, man, I'm Terrace, I'm a fan, I engineer, I mix too, I study, I got pictures of your set. Like, I used to sneak into his studio sessions when he wasn't there. My friend that was an engineer said, hey, Quik just left, come to the studio and just come look at his equipment. So I would take a disposable camera, catch the bus to like Skip Sailor, and take a picture of his setup. And I would be so infatuated with Quik, I would go home and draw his setups, like draw them.
Wow.
And I would have just a keyboard, but I would act like I was turning knobs on long pieces of paper. That's the only child shit, so. I told Fuzzy, man, if there's one person I never met is Quik. I met him one time, and I got starstruck, and he was like, hey, and I was just like, and this is like a year before I met him for real. You know, I had already sold records and everything, but I was still, you know what I'm saying? So I met Quik, man. The first thing he looked at me, and at that time I had a little song on the radio out here called Riding and Rolling. But regardless, like the first time he said, man, I like that song, man. What mic did you use? I said I used this Tony C800 with a 1073 out of the 1073 into the 1176, and he said that's a safe setup. That's what I use, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And we started working together. I got to be friends with him. We was doing ego tripping at the time, Snoop's record Ego Tripping. Snoop had me doing a lot of stuff, and I asked Snoop, I said, would it be okay if Quik get involved and help me out? Because I want to learn from Quik. You know, you guys could pay him a lot of money to teach me. And that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Then we started hanging out and drinking vodka at 4 in the morning.
Now we was
Terrace for a really long time because he had been making music out here for a really long time, and a few years back when I guess the New West movement started, a few people were at the forefront of that then, and a lot of, you know, Terrace was on a lot of stuff with them. Like one of the first tracks I heard of you was on a DJ Ski project. It was you, Corrupt Problem, and Mike Stroh.
The All Night.
All Night. A white girl sucks my all night. That was Terrace's verse. So
I was in a different place. I wouldn't even think of saying that now.
So I knew about T4 and me.
I really said that, huh?
Oh, way worse than I can even say here because I don't want to be judged for saying it. But I remember one day specifically you called me over. Yeah, shoot through after work. Whoa. Gonna play some stuff for you. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, get in my car, make that long drive. And I get here and he didn't have nothing to play. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I just spent all this time.
Yeah, that is a story. And
so then he, you know, that's kind of when he opened up and he was just like, dude, like, I just been going through it, me and this girl, you know, it's been crazy. I haven't been able to make music, Dev, and I'm never like that. I just can't make music. It's consuming my mind. I can't work. So, you know, we kind of got into a conversation about everything they were going through. And I was like, you should do a project about that to start working. Like, obviously that's on your mind. And then we start laughing and I was like, you know, you should call it Hear My Dear after Marvin's album. You know, real emotionally charged, very satirical. And
I'm familiar with that album. But I never would once think to do a project off of that. Like, never in my life. Because I've never done music based off of what I'm feeling. Right. I know how to copy. If you tell me you feeling some kind of way, I could do your shit. But I've never done music and we tapped in. Yeah, we tapped in like it was a bubble. We tapped into some things.
Yeah, I mean, it came out dope. Way
so shouts out to her.
Ever expected.
Suck me.
Man, this that love thing. The drink got me on my hood thing. I'm on intrigue with things and making things right. Righting on my wrongs so my kids could be raised right.
How has that evolved to the new project?
Hear My Dear was literally like based on an up and down relationship. You know, I think this project is just really dedicated, man, to just like loving the one you with and making love to the one you with. It's just sexy, man. I think it's not focused on nothing bad. It's not there's nothing up and down about this.
This is more about the music itself and how, you know, remember back in the day when you listen to your parents play a record or something and you felt it because of how it was constructed. It was an experience, and I think, yeah, and that's kind of what we're doing with the Sexy People.
Welcome. Welcome into my world. Or should I say, our world. The Sex EP.
If you listen to the leak we had with Ninth Wonder, that's the vibe I want you to get. Something that sensual and that sexual but not vulgar, and it still brings you back to the quality of it. Damn, that boy good. Whoa, you hear that? Or, you know, so we really want people to think about the music that we put out and we want them to go back to it. We want you to keep listening to it because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel a certain way, you know? We started something called Devi Terrace Tuesday. So every week we've been leaking, you know, a dope track leading up to this project, and we're actually going to be building upon the Devi Terrace brand and do theme projects surrounding that, which you guys can look for soon. But so far in the leaks we had, of course, a great Wiz Khalifa record. We did Snoop, Latoya Williams. It was so great to hear from her.
Corrupt,
we did
Kendrick and Bad Luck.
Corrupt, Kendrick, Bad Luck, Scheme, Problem, and then that great record with Ninth Wonder. That was an instrumental track. That was just my personal favorite. So yeah, we're excited. We got a lot of stuff planned for this year.
Still growing.
Loving you. Hey, what's happening, y'all? Yeah. It's Terrace Martin and my homeboy, Ninth Wonder.